All right, in front of us today we have the Vostok Komandirskie reference number 811289. This is the blue variant, and we also have the black variant, which we're going to cover here in just a bit. As for the movement that's housed in this watch, you have the caliber 2414A. This is a Vostok movement with an accuracy rating of -20 plus 60 seconds per day with a power reserve of 36 hours. For the water resistant, it has a 20 meters water resistant according to Vostok with an acrylic crystal on top. As for the case, it is a brass case with a chrome plating, as you can see here with this crude finish, which seems to be a unique identifier with these Vostoks. I think it gives the watch a little bit of character and makes it a fun watch to wear. Now turning this watch around, here we can see that screw down ring which apply pressure to the back of the plate, aiding in that water resistant. Let's take a look at the black variant here. This is the reference number 431783. Although these are the same watches, there's a difference with the dial variant here. You can see that there's a different design language here, and I do prefer the black one in this instance. You see that 24-hour marking on the inside of the dial. You also have those triangles with the lume pit at every single hour marker. That red seconds hand, the way it just plays on that black dial. And I do love the way that the seconds hand have this slight curve at the end of the seconds hand, and that's because the dial also has that curve. Now looking at this movement that's housed within, you can see this is a really rough movement. It's meant to be one of those rough movements that can take a beating. So yeah, looking at the back, you can see it has the same design here, that screw down ring that applies pressure to the back plate, and that back plate has some sort of emblem on the back, and it seems to be pressed. It doesn't look etched to me, but yeah, just taking a closer look here, you can see also the way the crown unscrews. It's very gritty, just so you guys are aware. It is not a fun experience trying to set the time, trying to set the date. The winding on this, it's really a catch-22. You have to learn how to properly wind this watch. Not only does it starts to give you resistance once the wind is full, so you have to pay close attention when winding this. It is very easy to break off that stem, so just be very careful if you do decide to purchase one of these or already have one. But yeah, aside from these little quirks that this watch has, I think it is a fun watch to own. I like it. These Vostok have they have a cult following. A lot of people really do like these watches, and there is a modding community for these. I'm not really into that though. Taking a closer look there at that blue dial, man, it has that nice sunburst effect. You can see that domed acrylic on this watch that gives it that vintage look. It is a fairly thin watch, and that's because this is a hand wound movement. It is not an automatic, so there's no rotor there to add more beef to this watch. The way those lugs taper downwards do allow this watch to wear very comfortable on the wrist. Again, if you don't have a Vostok, I highly recommend adding one to the collection. They're very inexpensive. You can pick these up on Amazon for under 70 bucks. I believe on Vostok's website as well, you can pick them up for about $78, give or take, plus shipping and handling. But yeah, this blue dial also has a submarine on the front of the dial, which I think these watches do complement that submarine look. Man, as you can see here, the black one on a NATO strap. This is, just take a look at it. You can really sit there and admire the way that looks. And then looking at the two side by side, although the blue one is nice and I like that red star up top, the black one, man, the way that looks on a brown leather NATO strap, that just looks fantastic. Now, just to recap, I know I said you could pick this up on Vostok's website for about $78. Just keep in mind with the war that's going on right now in Ukraine and Russia, that could affect the chain of supply for these watches. I know on Amazon, there's a few listings that are showing estimated time of delivery late January. So just keep that in mind when ordering this watch. Now, I do want to set some proper expectations. If you're looking to buy this watch for practicality, this is not the watch for you. This is more so a conversation starter, something unique. A little bit of funkiness with this watch, and that's the reason you would probably want to consider this watch. But if you're looking for a practical watch, again, this is not it. Speaking of accuracy, I'm sure you can squeeze a little bit more out of these movements by fine-tuning them. I'm just not going to go down that rabbit hole. It's very easy to damage the hairspring on one of these watches, and that would just ruin the watch. I personally didn't buy it for the practicality. I bought these watches as conversation starters. They're unique pieces. They're very funky. Just nice piece to have in the collection overall. Anyways, here's a lume shot of the watch. Not too bad. It's got some green lume. It's all right. You know what's funny is the lume on this Vostok is actually slightly better than my my Hamilton khaki. Anyways, there you have it, guys. That's the blue one once again. There's the submarine I was talking about. You have the Vostok logo with that seagull right above it, and then that anchor at the bottom. Anyone who knows what that says at the bottom of the dial, please drop it in the comments below. I would love to know what that says. I love that red star at the top. That really adds a nice touch and makes that red second hand pop. Yeah. There you have it, guys. That's my take, my review on the Vostok Komandirskie. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully I was able to shed light on a brand that maybe you guys didn't know about. And if you did know about it, hey, well, there's another video. I know there's not too many that I've seen, or too many videos with pretty cool footage of the watch itself. Again, I do want to thank you guys for your time. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Drop a comment and a like below, as that does help the algorithm. Again, this was Laz. Till the next one.